Hey everyone, it's Phil Keith from Out of Films. Welcome, thanks for tuning in. So, the dangers of a smear campaign due to taking on and walking away from unpaid work. Bit of a mouthful, that is. I'm doing this video because it does happen quite a lot and more people are speaking up about it, which is fantastic. But I just wanted to give people out there a bit of a bit of a guide as to how to manage your way through one if you haven't already had it done to you. So, I'm going to go back a few years now. I have had a smear campaign launched against me for previous projects in the past. I'm not going to name names, obviously, but ultimately, I was on a project in York. That was one of the first ones, and the director, the producer, very very ego driven. Didn't want to listen to anyone else but themselves, and I decided to buy a brand new MacBook, Apple, whatever it's called, and this person found out on the day, and something went wrong during one of the scenes we were filming at a house on location. Now, I don't brag about things when I buy them. I just keep it to myself and I start using the equipment. This person though, they set their eyes on this laptop, and the first thing they were like, "Oh well, what's the laptop for?" Even though the laptop had nothing to do with the project or them, straight away questions, "Well, what's the laptop for?" I was like, well, it's my laptop. I've just bought it so I can, use it to do my film work on, so I can edit with. This project was I think it was like roughly just short of a week. Apart from the accommodation, nothing was paid for. We had to cough up all the money ourselves. Now, people might be thinking, why did I actually do it then? I was available, I was free, I wanted the experience. Was it worth it? Well, I'll let you guys decide on that one. But ultimately, this laptop was the ignition of a firework. This individual decided to demand I set up the laptop and let them use it on the spot. I was like, it's my laptop, it belongs to me, it's my money, it's brand new, I have just bought it. They didn't give a damn. They started slagging me off very quietly to other crew members. Oh, I can't believe Phil's not letting me use his laptop, he's so selfish. The entitlement that comes from taking on unpaid work is one of the dangers you will encounter. Now, I'm using the word dangers because when you are on the spot in that atmosphere, your mental health can take a knock. It can. And when this director, this producer, wasn't going to get anywhere with the laptop from me, they went in a silent treatment mode for the rest of the day nearly, didn't speak to me hardly, and it was very draining on set, very exhausting because people knew why, and it was the case of, well, if you just let them use your laptop, Phil, that's it, it's all happy ending. It's like, I can't believe what I'm hearing from everyone here. This is no one else's laptop, it belongs to me, so why you are acting like you're entitled to use it, I don't know. And then later on during the week, it turned out that we needed a car on hire rental. I was legally the only person that was able to do it, which I found laughable, but I did it. Didn't ask for a penny for it, but I just did it. And then I was told by the person, by the producer, to keep all the receipts and post them to them. Now, I thought, okay, I'll go with that. I'll post you the receipts and then I'll get all the money back. I also took a photo of every single receipt. I took a photo of the envelope, of it being sealed. I covered my own back. I was ignored. I waited a few days. I knew the letter had been received, but they were ignoring me. I then chased up this producer, who then dropped it on me. I used the equipment available through the university, so if you want anything reimbursed, you have to go back through the university. And I said straight away, not even getting into all that with you. You personally told me you would pay me back. It was you that told me to do it. It was you that said you would look after it all. And it's you that I'm coming to for the money now. Now, this individual, as you could imagine, entitled to hell, didn't want to know, didn't give a damn. So they started to smear me to everyone, a smear campaign against me. They started to message all the crew members saying that I was deliberately withholding some of the camera footage because they wouldn't give me the money. So what did I do? I went one step further. I spoke to every single person who did message me, and I said, you choose what you want to believe. I don't care. It's not your money. It's my money. Some of them I deleted and blocked. Some of them I never spoke to again. But then when it came to this producer, I decided to take a little different approach. After I did some digging, I discovered they were in fact a master's student at the University of York, and they were trying very hard to get their university to be their defence to try and get me to back off because they owed me quite a bit of money. So I turned around and said to them, I don't care if it's a university tutor or a health and safety officer that you are speaking with. It's really simple. You either pay me the money back or I will take you personally to court, the small claims court, and I will also smear the university's reputation. Now, I had all this in writing, and I did that on purpose because it was a pre-warning to them. If you decide to mess me around over this money, you will wish you never met me. What happened? Within 48 hours, I had the money in my account. That person then continued to smear me, telling people that I was being funny, awkward, wouldn't cough up the footage. And in the end, I just cut them all off, took my money back, never bothered with any of them again. Another time it happened was in Hartlepool, where again, not a single penny was being paid to cast or crew. It was just completely out of our own pockets, and we'd been doing it for quite some time now. So it was getting to the extent where we were thinking, well, hang on, we're using our own resources here, our own money to try and get this done, and we're not seeing anything here. Nothing's getting picked up, nothing's getting noticed. There's no investment, there's no cash injection. And when that type of thing happens, after a while, questions start to get asked, eyebrows start to raise. So we started asking questions. Well, you claim you've got an investor, so who's the investor? You claim you've got, a shareholder waiting to come forward or whatever. No one has come forward yet. When you start to challenge these type of people who don't want to pay for their project, they don't like it because they know deep down, 9 times out of 10, there's a reason you're asking those questions, because you have clocked on to the fact that they're just playing games with you. Now this person, again, I just went along with it. I then decided to take my own equipment back, my own personal equipment back. Same thing happened again. I was shouted at, screamed at. Why are you taking your equipment back? You know, you're selfish, you're spoilt. And it was like, just to remind you guys, yeah, this is not your equipment. It belongs to me. So if I want to walk away with my equipment right now, I will. But again, you get the self-centered, obnoxious, entitled, spoiled brat attitude tantrum from these people sometimes. And what happens next? The smear campaign. They talk bad about you when you're not there. If you've disagreed with something or on a creative aspect, they'll use that to slag you off. They then sometimes go through your footage, nitpicking at what you haven't or haven't done. When you are working with people who don't pay you, you are entering a dangerous territory in a sense, because these people believe they are giving you an opportunity when the reality is they're not. You are helping them to create an opportunity with you, but ultimately they are not giving you it because it's unpaid anyway. How many projects could I make that are unpaid? Loads. Is it going to create an opportunity for me? Probably. Is it going to create an opportunity for them? No. But 2 people together, would it create an opportunity? Yes. Now the reason I'm saying all this is because I have seen a lot of casting calls out there where the talent, the actor, has dropped out at the last minute because it's unpaid work, and the director or the producer will slag them off. And I often jump on these posts and I say to these people, just remember, you're not paying people. So I'm not surprised if your actor has walked away from the project because you're not paying them. Now again, these producers, they don't like it, so they go on the attack, or you only want paid work, you only want the fame. When you are putting yourself forward for unpaid work, just bearing in mind that you are working with people who don't understand the value of your time, of your input. And when you say no to them, they know they have no hold over you money-wise because they're not paying you. So what do they have to do instead? They resort to mind games, smear campaigns, silent treatment. They'll, as I said, I've been slagged off to other cast and crew before. They've like, oh well, yeah, Phil, you know, why is it you want paying? The rest of us are happy to do it for free. You'll get the emotional guilt trip in. I've had it all. So here's just a few little simple tips on how to get through it. Really simple tips. Don't argue with them. If what you are saying, they are not acknowledging and registering. So if you are about to walk away from a project, or if you are removing your equipment, your resources from a project for your own personal reason, and they are kicking off and demanding an answer, walk away. There is no point arguing with people like that. They do not see it the way you will see it. And you could say 2 + 2 equals 8, and they will say you are still wrong. Now, why am I saying that? It is not worth your mental health to get into an argument with these type of people. I have come across people like this, and it's just the case of, right, pack up the gear, don't say anything to anyone, walk out if you can. It is awkward, but you know what? I'd rather get out of there in less than 5 minutes than sit there for another hour and be in that same atmosphere. It's not good for your mental health. So as I say, if they're not going to listen to reason, to reasonable argument, you know, if they're not going to stop and say, you know what, I get what you're saying, it is your gear, can we just please, you know, finish off? If they're not willing to, you know, speak to you in a civilized adult manner, walk away. You'll get these ones that they'll get hysterical, they'll start crying and, oh, you're ruining my life, you're ruining my project, you know, you're this, you're that. Okay then, well, if that's how you feel about me, no problem, I'll see you later then. Walk away. But the moment you get a two-faced person, i.e. they've gone from being happy and willing to work with you to, you know, you're selfish, obnoxious, you know, you're just trying to ruin things. As soon as you see that side of that person, you have seen that person. Not the superficial, fake, positive image side of, oh, you know, let's all work together and be collaborative, let's be passionate. When you see that little brat come out to play, that is the person you are actually working with. You don't want to work with those type of people, trust me. It happened again when I was helping students on a project in my local hometown. Unpaid work. They could not get the dolly track that was self-made to run properly. And I'm talking a group of about 6 students here, spent a whole hour trying to figure it out. They couldn't do it. I came back to the site, I seen what they were trying to do. I then went up to the track and I clocked on straight away the mechanic within it was wrong. It wouldn't work. But all that something needed to be done was it to be flipped and then put back down on the track. I went to fix this, and I won't name who this person was, but this little sod basically tried to patronize me and belittle me in front of other students. Oh, you haven't got a clue what you're doing, Phil. You haven't even built it. I literally flipped the mechanical part of it over and it started rolling as smooth as you could ever imagine. And everyone was like, wow, that's all we needed to do. And I was like, yeah, that's all I needed to do. I said, but now you know, now you've learned something. This other lad though, oh, he used that and he pushed it against me. Or you think you're in all, you know, you're not helping students, you're just, you know, just showing off. People who act like that are very insecure, but they're very controlling. They want to be seen as the center of attention because ultimately they've got nothing in there to go off. So they use other people around them to try and fill in the gaps. Again, if you try to help someone and they throw it in your face, walk away. Now, people might be thinking, you know, oh, I've been through this, I've been through that. This is why I'm saying to people out there, be very careful with unpaid work, because the entitled attitude you get of these brats sometimes, you think to yourself, well, you're not going to get anywhere anyway in the long run, and they won't. And I won't name this project, but there was a project going in Hartlepool. It's been going for a while now, and it's the one I've mentioned before. That same project that I was actually helping on about good 5 years ago, it is still in the exact same place it was 5 years ago when I walked away from it. Why? Because the person who had a go at me has rehired about 10 different camera ops in the space of 5 years, 10 different DOPs, you name it. Why? Because the moment they go and help, and this person doesn't appreciate the help they give, and they realize that, and they say something to this person kicks off, smears them like they did with me. Those freelancers then walk away, and this person is back at square one. Now, not saying this applies to every single project out there, but I'm just saying, if you are going to put yourself forward for unpaid work, just be ready for the mask to come off, because not everyone are good apples people, and some people out there are bad apples. They will exploit you, and the moment you stand your ground, they will try their hardest to throw it back at you, and it's mentally draining and exhausting. Thank you everyone once again for tuning in. Take it easy.